Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hi, Teresa. How Darian? How are you, my darling? Um, uh, yeah, just had to go and get my glasses, my computer glasses. Hi, Warrior Girl. Yeah, I am definitely. In a bit of a. What we got here? Couple of decks. Oh, paper everywhere. More decks. Oh, yep. Ah, I am fine. Thank you very much. Just excuse me a minute. Hubby was trying to be helpful and he put the little heater fan under my desk, but it just means that my feet would get way too warm. And yeah, I prefer it coming in from behind me, the heat. There we go. But it was very sweet of him to put it there. So, how's everyone? I really having that chance to recharge last weekend was really good. I'll be doing some more recharging this weekend. And yeah, just keep going. Have to sort out. I've still got boxes and boxes of books here and stuff, and yeah, still lots to sort out here. But yeah, things are going okay. I think I've overloaded the middle shelf, so I'll have to move something from there up to the top or up to the second shelf. Not sure what yet. I'll sort that out later. Yeah. So I hope everyone is okay. I'm just opening myself up to spirit. I might light a candle here with some nice fragrance. Hubby bought this for me. I'm not quite sure what the flavour, what the scent is, but it is lovely and it's got "Love You to the Moon and Back" on it. Got that for me. No, was it last Christmas? Whether it was last Christmas or the Christmas before, not quite sure. Getting closer to the US trip. Hi, Annie W. Yeah, that Alaska thing. I don't know what's gonna. Yeah. Um. mm, Very interesting times for you guys. It sucks that you have to put up with it. It really does. That thing with Putin in Alaska, that's diversionary. But I think he's trying to keep people's mind off the National Guard troops in Washington, D.C. Uh, he's not talking what the deal. Yeah. Mm, yeah. You're looking to order some pizza while you're listening, Teresa. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Still got so much to sort out. You're moving around. Um, yeah. Oh, let's have a look. Trying to bring out some of the different decks as well, um, for use. Um, yeah. Guardian one's drawn me today. Mm. Yeah. So let's have a look at the energy around the presidency, the man in the man in office, call him. Fight gangs and collects taxes. Honestly, anything, yeah, that they're just going to become the president, the US president. Eric Prince and his mob, they'll be the government's enforcers. And if they, yeah, if anyone crooked wants to get into power in Haiti, they'll have that private army to help them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this hair's sticking up. I need a haircut, but I'm trying to save some money. Interesting question. Uncover the news. And Uncover the News asked, did Putin ask for the return of Alaska? Let's do a card cut on that. Guides, what can you tell me? Two of Wands. Part of the bigger picture. Yeah, quite possibly. Trump knows he'll be sunk if he ever gives in and does something like that. Pendulum, show me yes. Pendulum, show me no. Okay. Did Vladimir Putin ask Trump to return Alaska to Russia? Yes, he did. Yeah, they are quite large, but they're beautiful. They're called Guardian of the Night Tarot by CJ MJ Cullinane. Um, yeah, yeah. The cover art is by MJ Cullinane, printed in China. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hi, Shelby Lisa. She's in New Orleans on vacation. I hope she's going well. Um, yeah. So we're moving towards our cruise day. Still seems like quite a while away, but we know it's just going to go so quickly. So about 4 weeks before the cruise itself, before we fly out, I start gathering everything together, all paperwork, anything we might think we need, everything gets printed up, copies of everything. And yeah. So anyway, let's have a look at the energy around the president. Number 47. Shrimp po' boys. Yeah, the cruise, we are looking forward to it. I'm not going to give the exact dates or anything like that, but Shelby knows. And I think Shari, Voices from the Swamp, I'm hoping to catch up with her in New Orleans. She doesn't live in New Orleans, but we'll be there over a weekend, and she's hoping to be able to come down and have lunch with us or something. So, yeah. Anyway, let's have a look at the energy around President number 47. The Wheel of Fortune, Major Arcana. Now, last week we had lots and lots of Major Arcanas coming out. But everyone around him, JD Vance, I think the House, the administration itself, so the wheel. Now, this is big, major changes here, major changes happening, and he really doesn't have the mechanism to be able to stop them. So there's big change coming towards this man. I don't think this deck has reversals, so we'll have to see what the other cards say as to whether there'll be good or bad changes. What are his challenges? The Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is things remaining in balance, giving and taking. Of course, it's in the challenge. For him, he takes the word charity begins at home literally. In other words, people give to a charity and he just takes it and uses it on himself. But this is also validation, finding validation and evening up the balance sheet. I don't know why I used the word balance sheet, but I did. So keeping things on an even keel. So what's the advice for him? Queen of Swords. Clear out that which does not serve you. Well, I'll tell you what. He should clean out that which does not serve him, which is a lot of his policies, a lot of the people around him. But he's not going to do that. The other thing, too, is with the Queen of Swords, for me, it's often the Queen of Swords is often the judge, calling forth people to answer for their actions. Yeah. So definitely, if he doesn't clear things out, he's going to be made to answer for his actions. And he should heed that advice. What's at the base of this reading? The Five of Pentacles. Left out in the cold with really no idea how he got there. The Five of Pentacles, out in the cold. A lot of people take that as the card as a bleak message. It's not always a bleak message. It can also be that if you just look around the corner, there's more opportunity and there's ways out of your situation. At the base of this is the situation he's finding himself in increasingly, which is cold shoulders from everybody. And perhaps being prepared to be cleared out as well. Shelby, we'll have to get together for another chat in a week or so. And yeah. So what is the outcome of the energy around the president? Now you see him, now you don't. The Magician. So this is another major arcana. He does seem to be a Teflon Don. Because he's put himself in a position of power so that he can just make sure things don't touch him. Cameo, that was just rude. You want some nummies? Hey, you want some more nummies? All right, well, here they are. Here we go. Here you go. I have a plastic share mat thing, so yeah. And it's like, now you see me, now you don't. It's often the first thing that pops to mind with the Magician card. pulling off a magic trick. Tell me more about the magician card here, which is a raccoon. Raccoons find all they need in the trash. So let's break down the outcomes some more. Oh, definitely. We'll chat at least twice before then, darling. Oh, Three of Swords. Okay, so behind this supposedly great card, now you see me, now you don't. Yes, Shelby. We're actually meeting at the end of the cruise. The cruise gets into Orlando on the 1st of November. So yeah. So I am reading on Trump now at the moment, Uncover the News. So this magic trick, now you see me, now you don't. There's the Three of Swords, betrayal, heartbreak. The Ten of Pentacles, legacy, but the end of a cycle, the end of a legacy, family legacy. It's interesting. Like these are a wasp or something, but they definitely have, the money has a sting in the tail. So yeah, there's definitely a sting in the tail for Trump this week. And then the Three of Cups, celebration. Again, we've got the raccoons. People celebrating. Celebrating what? Last week, I remember saying that what I got from all the major arcanas that pulled last week was that, a lot of people have been saying this too shall pass. That last week was basically the start of this time, this passing time. It's not going to happen overnight, but I get the feeling that things will be quicker than anticipated. Yeah, with the raccoon, magician. Now you see me, now you don't. Squirreling away everything, hiding secrets. But with betrayal, legacy, leaving a legacy that has a sting in the tail, and people just celebrating, overindulging, maybe getting too drunk on power. I feel like, hi, Ron. I feel that the National Guard in Washington, D.C. is just one in a series of spectacularly bad decisions. So everybody's been saying that August is going to be a very, we've had astrologers say it, other readers say it. August is going to be a very bad month for the president, and nothing I've drawn in the last week or two counteracts that. And hello to all my lovely lurkers, and also to everybody who watches these lives at a later date, who takes the time to click on the video and watch them. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment if you like. It really is appreciated. Now, JD Vance is not having a good week in the UK. Let's have a look at what the energy around him is for this week. And I got a nasty visual last week that he might not, he possibly might step up into the presidency, but he's not going to be there long. I am not going to say what flashed through my eye because I don't want such an event to happen to anybody. So whether you like the man or not, you don't want any real harm to come to these people. Justice, yeah, but you don't want real harm, you know. So all I'll say in that is that I hope what I saw doesn't happen, because if JD Vance does have to step up, he's really going to have to pull his butt from his backside. And yeah. Hi, J Cat Lady. So let's have a look at him for this week. Might do a quick 3-carder on him. The King of Cups, calming the waters. This is like, that's one of the reasons he's over in the UK, to try and calm the waters. He's spitting out the rhetoric, but you know what? I don't think he really believes it. The Queen of Pentacles. Bring it on home to me. He loves his luxuries and he loves his money. Who's that? Number 47, J Cat Lady. The Queen of Pentacles. King of Cups. He's going to have to smooth the waters. The Queen of Pentacles. It's going to resources. It can't just be about him and his. He's going to have to learn he's got some lessons coming his way, things he has to step up and learn. The Ace of Wands, finding new creativity, new energy, and new, I get with all the glowy bugs, lampposts lighting the way. Wow. I mean, he's got some interesting things ahead of him. What we saw when Trump lost the plot in after January 6th, and he just refused to do his job. Mike Pence stepped up, and he actually did not a bad job. I feel like J.D. Vance is going to have to step up. I don't think he's going to. Here's the thing. I'm trying to picture him, and I just get no movement on that. The question Uncover the News asked, hi, Human Generic, was when Trump strikes the cartels, will bad intel lead to a catastrophe? There's been some occasions when Trump has fluked it. Not very many, but he has fluked it. And yeah, this occasion, I just don't see movement on it. I just don't know that he's actually going to get there. He might be because he can't do for illness or something. Yeah. Yeah. I'm very ladylike this week with the bottle of iced coffee. Look at the cosmic cards. What will happen with Trump's supposed strike on the cartels, his planned strike on the cartels? I can't see it happening. Something status quo, pretty compromise, forgive, work it out. In other words, not much. Fate, karma, something ending, something beginning, same old cycle. It's just, yeah, basically what I'm feeling is like the status quo. It's going to remain as it is. Okay. Okay. I feel like hi, Patricia Francino. Giving the floor over to you guys, and maybe just for the rest of today, let's just concentrate on you guys and do some readings for you. So I'm going to grab a deck The Muse, I think. Muse Tarot. So, who's going to start off the readings? Who wants a reading? 3 cards each, guys. Yeah, I think I'd like to just do some for you. Okay, Annie W. Okay. And remember, if you want a full 1-hour reading with me, there's my email. I charge $30 US or the equivalent in your money. Say that's $45 Australian, So, okay, card, please. So we've got Annie and then Jenny Penny. Okay. And uncover the news. You've got a question. Okay, Annie, you got in there first thing. So 3 cards, Annie. NW. The 2 of emotions. Well, sweetie, I know you very well. I know that emotions are very much something that spurs you on, and your deep belief in what you're doing and your deep commitment to it, because the 2 of emotions or the 2 of cups is always about commitment as well. The magician. This is reversed. This is things don't always happen by magic, darling. Just keep going with the hard work. You have everything you need, but don't let yourself be derailed, because you're almost there. You're almost there. But there's a few vital changes you need to make. Okay. There are a few vital changes you need to make, but you've got everything you need. You're almost there. The Queen of Emotions, the Queen of Cups. Here you are. This is like finally feeling settled in where you are and in what you have. So you're almost there, my darling. You're almost there. Don't give up, even though it might seem like all of a sudden, illusions shatter. That doesn't mean that illusions are illusions. Means that we're never real. But you'll work it out. You're almost there. Okay, question from Uncover the News. Kirsten, is helping out a morning podcast going to work out or be a flop? Five of materials. 9 of emotions. You might feel like things are a little bit not quite going your way at the moment. But again, with the 5 of materials, the 5 of coins, around a corner, there's a lighted pathway. Page of emotions. Be creative and be inspiring. This is a start of something new for you, and take inspiration from the things around you. It's not going to be a flop, but it's not going to work out quite as you thought or wished. Okay. But yeah, take a little bit more commitment than you thought. Nine of Emotions is the wish come true card. It came out reversed, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to come true. It's just not going to come out the way you envisioned. I don't see flop. Okay. Um, but I do see hard work. But I feel it. Yeah. I'm gonna yeah, I think yeah, you've got to work. Put in that extra work and don't let other people drain all your energy from you. You give as much as you feel you can give and don't let anyone demand extra from you. But I don't see it being a flop, but it's not going to be an easy ride either. Okay. Okay, Sabrina. Different deck. Okay. Deck was upside down. Okay. First card, cautionary tale here. Think carefully before you embark on what you want to do. The end doesn't always justify the means. So you make sure that the way in which you want to achieve it is the best way. There are always better alternatives. Don't be lazy about it. There's going to be a time where things seem to be in limbo, just the status quo is going to be unchanged. It's going to be for quite a while, Sabrina. Yeah, so don't take the path that'll turn people away from you. Okay. You might have to put in a little bit of extra. It might take a little bit longer. Things might seem like nothing's changed for a while, but then, yes, the messages you've been waiting for will be there and those ideas will come to fruition. And you'll be at the start of a new adventure because remember, the pages are the start of the court cards. So, yeah, worth the effort, but do not make it so that the end justifies the means. If the means are not If the means will hurt people, better to leave things as they are and look elsewhere for inspiration. Okay? Yeah, that's suddenly all just gelled together there. So I think the path you're looking at, not the best one. So find another way. And there is another way. Jenny Penny. Hang on a minute. I want to check something, my darlings. Okay. Jenny Penny. Oh, we've got some cards flew out here. 2 of them again. So the Queen of Pentacles. Gathering your resources. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look after others, but look after yourself first is the message I'm getting from this. Again, we've got that things, the status quo saying as they are. Okay, you might want to change things, but you've got to look after yourself first. You might want to change things to help others, Jenny Penny, but you should look after yourself first. For the moment, things are best as they are, because you need a little bit of a footing in the future, because things are going to get a little bit chaotic. Okay, a little bit like things coming at you. This is the Knight of Swords. It's reversed. There's not many reversals in that deck, but there are some. And it's like you should, yeah. Now's not the time to help others. You need to look after yourself first and leave things as they are, status quo, because there's a little bit of a rough time ahead. It's not super long term, a few months. And I feel like after that, you can sort of, you are someone who wants to help others because you feel blessed with what you have, but sometimes you need to keep what you have close for your own personal protection. And this is the time that it like that. Doesn't mean you won't be able to help others in the future. It's just best to leave things that they are for the moment. And I also feel like the person who's asking for help, they're well and truly able to look after themselves. They're just lazy. So, yeah. Human generic. Okay, human generic. You've been waiting. Justice is coming. It's going to rock the boat with a few people. But honestly, justice is, it's about to show its face. It might isolate a few people from you. But this is exactly what you need in order, because this period of time is coming to an end. You're navigating your way through those waters, and it's light at the end of the tunnel, coming to the end of the turbulence. But, you know, there are going to be people who don't see it as justice, but it is. It is the right. And honestly, those people who turn their backs, sometimes it can be a bit of a bitter pill to swallow. Was there a better way to deal with this? I don't think there was. Whatever way you dealt with it, it was always going to lead to some people. Yeah, well, yeah. And honestly, those people, I feel like you're better off without them. But yeah, it's been a bit of a tough time, human generic, but the decisions coming down, it's going to be, whatever it is, it's going to be favorable to you, but some people won't like it. You can't have everyone liking everything that happens around you all the time. It's just not possible. But it's also marking the end of a pretty rough passage of time for you. So good luck, human generic. J Cat Lady. Wow. Learning from what's just passed. You've learned some big lessons from what's just passed. And you actually, the cross keys of responsibility really stick out to me here. So take the lessons you've learned, find a new balance with that knowledge. And before you search for, I mean, this is the Knight of Wands, okay? Very passionate. It can be a bit of a my way or the highway person. So just learn the lessons you learned, because I think sometimes in the past you may have been a my way or the highway. And I think what you've learned recently is to find a new balance and to curb that. You've learned to hold back and maybe listen before you follow on a path. So you've learned some valuable lessons here. Continue to use what you've learned. And yeah, continue to use that new restraint. J Cat Lady, Warrior Girl. If you've just joined us, I did a few things earlier, but now I'm just reading for people today. So if you want a card read, a 3-card read, just say so. And yeah, Warrior Girl. Steve. Oh, I'm sorry, Steve. I missed you. Sorry. Well, what I'll do, Warrior Girl, if you don't mind waiting for a minute, I'll do a reading for Steve. So Steve. Oh, Steve, I got the pictures of your mum and the parallels between Kirk and the Tribbles and your mum and all the stuffed toys. I loved it. It was so funny, so cute. And yeah, she actually reminds me of my Nina. So physically in appearance. Oh, Steve, there's been a little bit of a poke in the eye with a blunt stick, I suppose. You felt maybe a little bit let down. It's got Heartbreak and Betrayal, but I don't think it's quite that bad. But, you know, we have a saying here called better than a poke in the eye with a blunt stick. Or I think like the guy, the way he's holding his eye, I think like you've got a poke in the eye with a blunt stick. So not nice. Things could have worked out a bit better, but there's a new balance happening, Steve. And look, there's no time. Don't stress and worry about it. There's just no time. Don't cry over spilt milk. You see the river here, the river of consciousness, and you see the bridge, the time of transition. It really is time to move on. Maybe you didn't get quite what you wanted or felt, but things will balance out, and it's time to move on, Steve. So good luck. Good thing about these is there's no super huge major arcana or even higher level cards, so it's gonna smart for a while. Okay, it is gonna smart for a while, but you'll be okay, and your mum will be okay, and yeah, your family will be okay. Warrior girl. Warrior girl, you've got the justice card too. So however way the cookie crumbles, it's as crumbling as it should. And this is a major arcana, so things will be okay. The decision might cause you a bit more conflict. Very similar to, who was it that I read for? Jim and Generic, was it? So there might be a little bit of argy-bargy around it, but okay, but it's some people might not like it, but it is what it is. And just let them fight amongst themselves, because it's time for you to enter a new phase of your life. Okay. This puts an end to a matter that's been plaguing you for a while. It's worked out how it's worked out. Some people might not like it and bicker and amongst themselves, but you don't need to join in that bickering. It is well and truly time for you to move forward into a different phase of your life. So, yeah, a shift in your place in the world. It's the end of one journey. This is the end of the journey. People might want to keep you stuck there, but don't let them. Yes, you want some more, don't you? I've got quite a bit of computer work to do today. Don't want to, but so that was Warrior Girl. Shelby Lisa. You know what? There's been lessons and justice for the last few readings, hasn't there? Lessons, institutions, learning. You're compassionate, you're protective. But I feel like this is also a teacher. So start teaching some of what you've learned from this last cycle of your life, this last period of your life, the lessons you've learned, and start helping others learn too. It's going to be your way of giving back. The lessons are about compassion, are about charity, about forgiveness. Um, but also I think about not letting your darker side take over during the worst of times, when you might want things to might seem like a good idea at the time, but it can take a lot to learn how to step back. Yeah, sorry about that, Steve. Sherry French, you want to? Yeah, if I do skip somebody, please let me know. It's never intentional, okay? Sherry French. Well, you got the poke in the eye again. Things not quite turning out the way you'd hoped. Maybe feeling a let down. There's no use getting into a protracted conflict here. Say what you want to say, short, sharp, to the point. You might end up feeling a little bit embattled, but you're closer than ever to finishing what you've had to address, whatever this issue is, Sherry. So I hope that makes sense. True, Shelby, yeah. Sabrina, lots of energy to you, my darling, so that you start feeling better. I think you need to do I feel like you need to do some visualizing exercises of visualizing that bad energy coming out of you. I visualize when I want something to, I pull it out of myself and I sit it on a little fluffy cloud. Even the worst things look ridiculous when they're sitting on a little fluffy cloud. And then I just tap the cloud and it floats away in the distance, carrying that issue or that badness with it. And I will visualize that for as long as I think it's needed. Anna Masada, yes, of course you can have a card, my darling. Oh, he's an idiot, Senator Joseph Martin. They don't want to join the US. Anna Macedo. Wow, you are heading quite quickly along a branch to achievement of what you want. Victory, I suppose, but I feel more like achievement than victory. Um, Sometimes it feels like things are moving so fast that you feel a little bit embattled. that you'd like to be able to just stop and catch your breath. But I don't think there's really going to be much time to do that. Because things are, this can often be, this is the hangman. It's often seen as sacrifice for nothing, but it also means things being jolted out of the status quo. Being jolted out, like the hangman would happily stay there forever. He's willingly put himself in that position. But this is saying, no, you can't. You can't stay in limbo forever and you've got to move on. So it's like you're being pushed out of a state of limbo here, my darling. It's going to happen quite quickly and it's going to and have some big changes come with it. Okay? And I feel like you've been feeling like this for quite a long while. So this is the state that you're going to be pushed out of. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it gives you, wow, I can get back on my feet. I can turn that feeling of being stuck. I'm not feeling stuck anymore. Might leave you a bit breathless for a while, but it is time for that change to happen, Anna. So I hope that all makes sense to you. Oh, that sucks, Shelby. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Anna, I just read for you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so come down to the bottom of the comments. If anyone didn't get a read, let me know, but I think I've covered everyone. If someone's listening now and they would like a card read, put your hand up. Ron, I just got it running through my head. Ron, do a read for Ron. So, Ron, are you still there? Time for a shake up, Ron. Opportunities there. And yes, you're right. This cannot stand as is. You know what to do, my darling. My dad passed, he was 66 when he passed, way too young. Yeah, still hits Yeah, you can hear me getting a bit choked up. So, yeah. Yeah, it can be hard, can't it? Apparently, about a week before he passed, he told my sister that he was ready to go. But 66 is it's way too young. It really is way too young, you know? Sorry, guys. It just totally hit hard. It was a long time ago. He passed in 2008. That was a long time ago, but it still hits. It still hits. And yes, we do all pass. We do all die, but 66 just makes me, the frustration. It's like, yeah, you know what it's like. 66. It's just, why couldn't he have had more? And the last 10 years of his life was so riddled with illness and stuff, and it just breaks your heart. It really does. And having to get the heart surgery and then cancer in his throat, and even before that, he had to retire way too young. His grandmother was 94, my Nina. She was 94 when she passed. Why couldn't he have had anything like that? I'm just so grateful that my mum, she's in her 80s now, that she's still going. I mean, we came close to losing her a couple of years ago. So, yeah. But, yeah, she keeps going. She's stubborn bugger. Mm. Yeah, it is. It really is. Sorry. I just had a complete meltdown then, and sorry about that. It just, mm, I know that, but I'm not coming for a long time, Dad. So I'm not planning to, can't wait to see you, but it's going to be a long time. Oh, mm. God, I don't know how I'll cope when my siblings start going to. I just, yeah. Mm. That he loved life and he enjoyed life, and that enjoyment was taken from him in the last few years with illness and stuff. Oh, mm. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I don't know why that happened. It just did, and mm, So cherish every minute you can with them, every conversation. Oh, Steve. Yeah. Mm. Big group hug. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Oh. It's just maybe what happened was supposed to happen. That doesn't make it any easier. Um, yeah, I mean, look, I had a cousin pass away a couple of months ago. Um, he was only 50. Hi, Deanne FL. How are you? I am doing some card readings today. So if everyone's had a reading who's here so far, if you'd like a reading, just put your hand up or say, yeah, card, please. And I'd be happy to do a reading. We were just discussing losses of members of family and stuff and how it just sucks that some people are taken so young. My cousin was only 50. He was only 50 and he battled. And then just a couple of weeks ago, I think I mentioned my aunt passed. Well, that was that cousin's mother. She was my mum's sister. And yeah, it tugs, it really does tug at the heartstrings. And yeah. Mm. I remember I was working at a government department after my dad passed, and about 6 months after, I'm walking down the hallway there, and my dad's walking towards me, and I'm like, oh. And it turns out it was not. He goes, it was a real person called Terry. And I was talking to her, and I said, "You gave me the fright of my life. You look exactly like my dad." And he didn't really believe me till I brought in a picture of my dad. He's like, "Wow." So we got to talking, and it turns out that there's probably a family connection through where his family came from and where a member of my family, my dad's family, where they started out, which was here in Australia, which was here in Western Australia. And it's like yeah, but they're probably related in some way because it was honestly like seeing my dad. And yep. Oh well, thank you, Deanne. Yeah, sometimes it's mm, no. Yeah, it's like why is this happening to someone who's never done anything that could remotely justify their being taken early for whatever reasons. Oh, well, thank you, human generic. That is a lovely compliment. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, if you want a card reading, I'm doing some 3 card reads. I'd be happy to do one, Deanne. And yeah. Well, thank you. That's very sweet of you to say. Yeah, all of my siblings are still alive. There's four. Well, no, that's not strictly true. I did have a little brother. I was 7 or 8, or maybe a little bit younger, 5 or 6 when he died. But he was only here for 2 days. His lungs weren't properly developed, and in the early 70s, of course, even though there had been improvements, it still wasn't. Yeah, it still wasn't enough around that could save the poor little guy. So my little brother passed after 2 days. So I do have a fifth sibling. He's been a little angel for many, many years now. And I know he's with Dad, and he's with both his great grandmas and both his great granddads, and now he's great auntie. And yeah. Mm. Okay. What's the best thing family can do for our loved ones who is at the transitioning? Oh, sweetheart, that is such a lovely, lovely question. These cards might seem a little bit light-hearted for the question, but they are sweet and lovely to answer a sweet and lovely question. Yeah, but I still have my other 3 siblings, and I love each of them so much. And yeah, all my nieces and nephews did get a brand new great niece the other week, Remy. She's beautiful. Hi, Constance Campbell. Anyway, Deanne, you want to know what is the best thing that your family can do to help your loved one transition? Okay, this has got the 5 of Cups. Don't regret the things you couldn't get around to doing with him. Celebrate everything you did get the chance to do with him. Thank you, Shelby Lisa. Okay, so a lot of people spend a lot of time regretting that they didn't get to this celebration or that celebration, or spend this amount of time with them or that amount of time. I mean, but celebrate what you did do with them, what you did know of them. My cousin, I only have vague memories of him as of a like 8, 9, 10-year-old with dark hair, because I hadn't seen him in that long. But I still celebrated the fact that he was in my life as a relative. And yeah, and he was a lovely person, you know. So celebrate. Don't regret what you couldn't do with him, or when you couldn't be there with them, but celebrate what you could be. Know that he's in a position now of he's he's going as he wants to go, if that makes sense. He's accepted things, and that's put him in a position of power. Okay. And I feel like he doesn't feel bad about letting go. Like, I'm still going to be the king of what What message? I'm still the king of the castle, and I always will be. Does that make sense, Deanne? Did that make sense? I'm still the king of the castle, and I'm always going to be the king of the castle. So I hope that makes sense, Deanne. Somebody's, I don't want a bunch of women crying over me like a bunch of old crows or something like that. Celebrate him. Don't regret what you couldn't have with him. But celebrate what you could have. Hi, Constance Campbell. Yeah, celebrate what you did have. Don't regret what you couldn't have. Know that because he's accepted it and he's ready, that's put him in a place of personal strength. And yeah, this is like a tease. So I don't know if that makes sense, Deanne. I'm still the king of the castle, and I always will be. Nan. Yeah. Constance, if you'd like a reading, yes. He liked to joke. He liked to joke. Yeah. He jokes. Yeah. I'm the king of the castle and you're the dirty rascal. For some reason, that's just that little rhyme just seems to, yeah. Okay, I'm going to wrap up in a few minutes. So if there's anyone else who would like me to do a quick read, yes, Constance? Need so fast. Any guidance appreciated. Okay. Okay, thank you for joining us, Jazzy girl. The world. Constance. This is a big card. You might feel like a little bit overwhelmed by some of the choices, and maybe a bit worried about, are you able to make the right choices for your future? Think with your heart and your head. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. Yeah, now that things are wrapping up in one sphere of your life, you've got some choices to make. And you're going to make some pretty decent choices. You'll feel more comfortable and stable as a result of it. Even there, I say it, feel a little bit smug. People say smugness is unbecoming, but back at that, sometimes if you've really worked hard and things have worked out the way you hoped, or you've made the best choices for yourself and things like, allow yourself a teeny little bit of smugness, okay? Just allow yourself that, but you don't have to live in it full time. But yeah, the choices you'll make will give you a solid, stable base. Okay, So anyway, my darlings, if that's all, I am going to wrap it up for the day. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll be back next week. I love you all. Heartstrings and love and light to all of you. Stay safe, stay happy, stay loving, and above all, my darlings. Oh, yeah. Will I sell quickly? Yeah. Yeah, I think you will sell things relatively quickly. Okay. Yeah. Above all, my darlings, stay laughing, laugh every day, and if you can, laugh with a stranger. Love you all, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.